Cowboys trade talks are intensifying as we are legit less than 24 hours from the NFL trade deadline, and Jerry Jones continues to say the Cowboys will be active, but how active? We talk about it here today on Cowboys Digest with a brand new report talking about the latest rumors. Welcome in, I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show. We've got much to talk about, and as I said, the trade deadline is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, so we are less than 24 hours away. And so, go down there and hit that subscribe button, because when a move happens, we're going to have it out to you first here on YouTube. Go down there. Like I said, hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free, and I promise you will not regret it. We got this tweet here from Jon Machota saying the Cowboys are extensively working on trades, and there are some interesting things out there. But will they make a move before tomorrow's NFL trade deadline, which leads to his title? The Dallas Cowboys are exploring trades. Will this finally be the year they make a move? And just to quote on that, the Dallas Cowboys have been in this situation before. The Dallas Cowboys have said, we're going to make a big move. We're going to make a big splash. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And it's the same in free agency. It's Jerry Jones having a lot of big words, but he never backs it up with actions. And so this year, there's a difference. The Cowboys need defensive help if they want to be a playoff team, much less a team that can compete for the NFC and beyond. Jerry Jones, what are the words meaning this year? Are they actually going to do something? Or is this just another year where the Cowboys are going to sit around and have these big talks but never make a move? We got 3 bold trades that could change everything for the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to talk about them here today. In the New York Times article, there wasn't really much to talk about. It's the Cowboys are looking at this. They want these big names, but will they actually get them? They're calling. They're really trying to get these big names, but it has to be Jerry pulling the trigger in terms of putting out what is needed. Like, if you're going to go for Maxx Crosby, you need to give him a first-round pick. If you're going to go for Minkah Fitzpatrick, you're going to need to give him some sort of top-tier talent back. Like, there's just things that are required. And so we're going to go through 3 of the top-tier trades and what I believe would be the projected trade. We first start with that name, Maxx Crosby of the Las Vegas Raiders. He is a perfect fit for the Dallas Cowboys, and there was reports that the Cowboys had called them. There were reports that that was a false rumor, but either way, false rumor, true rumor, this would be a very good trade, and in my mind, it's a trade you should make because you could easily go out there, give up one of those first-round picks you got in the Micah Parsons trade, and extensively, you're basically trading Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark, a first-round pick, and Maxx Crosby. That's what you could be ultimately roundabout trading for all this. So I think it's a good move, but I don't know if the Cowboys will actually pull the trigger. In the same breath, I don't know if the Raiders would pull the trigger unless it was a very good deal, because Maxx Crosby, he did just sign a 3-4 year deal, whatever it is. I think he's controlled until the 2028, 2029 season area. So he's been with this team for this entire career. Back in 2019 when it was the Oakland Raiders. Now obviously the past couple years with the Las Vegas area team. 5 sacks this year in 8 games, 7.5 sacks last year in 12 games, but the 2 big seasons were 2023, 2022, in which he had 14.5 sacks and 12.5 sacks when he competed in all 17 games that season. He also had a combined 5 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries in those seasons. And then you go back to 2021, he's got 7 passes defended. He's always getting back to the quarterback, 92.5 stuffs in his entire career. He's a dog. He's a legit dog. He gets to the quarterback. He's a force to be reckoned with on the edge, and he's going to contain the quarterback. I really love everything that Maxx Crosby does. And yesterday there was a tweet that went pretty viral talking about how, he wants Raider Nation to feel better and all this stuff, and people took that as, oh, guess what? He's traded. He's going to be traded. No, the Raiders lost in abysmal fashion yesterday, and that's what that trade, or rather that tweet, was about. However, I just still think this is a very good option. So what does a trade look like? Well, let's talk about it here. Potential trade scenario 1. The Cowboys will receive Maxx Crosby, and in return, the Raiders will receive a 2026 first-round pick from Dallas and a 2026 first-round pick in Green Bay. Now, while this would definitely get you Maxx Crosby, I don't know if it's the best solution. The reason being is, if you're going to trade 2 first-round picks, which I don't suggest for Max, you give them 1 this year and 1 next year. Specifically behind that is so you have a first-round pick in each of the next 2 drafts, because you have 4. So if you want to cut yours in half, that's fine, but I would rather have 1 this year and 1 next year than having 2 next year and none this year. especially when you don't even know if you're going to make the playoffs. Even if Maxx comes here, that's not going to say that the defense is going to be fixed. So, personally, if we are going to make this trade, I'd rather give one of our first-round picks this year and our first-round picks next year. It can be Green Bay. I'm really thinking in that aspect, same situation. You're giving one of ours, you give them one of Green Bay's. That probably would, in that scenario, ask for ours this year no matter what. But it'd be an intriguing thing for sure. Let's go to the second trade guy on the list, and that is T'Vondre Sweat, who is going to be a very hot commodity from the Tennessee Titans. He's just in his second year out of Texas, and he is a very big guy. 6'6", like 340 pounds. Like, he is a big guy, but he can move. He can definitely move. If you look at his stats over his first 2 seasons, nothing crazy. He does have a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and 30 yards in that fumble recovery, plus a combined 3 sacks across his first 21 games in the league. But if you pair him with Kenny Clark, Osa Digizawa, this defensive interior line would be very, very good. I like what I see from them, and I really do believe at that point the Cowboys' defensive line is in a very good spot to stop the run if that's what they continue to want to do. But I look more towards getting toward the quarterback given the sack numbers are so low. What would a trade look like for T'Vondre Sweat, though? Because let's talk about all of these and kind of go throughout them. For T'Vondre Sweat, it's probably going to be along the lines of I want to say somewhere near a second day pick. I think if you give them a third-round pick, they'll accept it. The Titans are not looking for much. The only reason why he is anything more than a day 3 pick, to be honest, is because he is specifically on his second year of his contract as a rookie. There's a lot of control there. He's still young. You could get him for a good price and as an extension if you want to do that. Like, he has a lot of good benefits if you can make him the player you want to be. However, it's on you to make him the player that you would like him to be. It's not on anybody else. The last guy I want to talk about, it's a big one. It's Minkah Fitzpatrick, a new leader in the secondary, and Minkah was labeled to be on the market yesterday afternoon by the Miami Dolphins. And the most intriguing part to me is across Cowboys Twitter, across Cowboys X, social media, whatever you want to call it, they said this would fix a lot of problems. And while I do believe that is so, one secondary piece here, Minkah Fitzpatrick, would fix a lot of problems because the secondary is not being talked about enough, I think, and how bad it's actually been and the injuries that come with that. Minkah is a guy who can play in a lot of different facets, and I do like what he has done throughout his career. This season, it's nothing really to write home about. 9 games, 1 interception, 7 yards. I still want to say that he is playing like this more on the side because the Dolphins stink. The Dolphins are terrible, and that they should not be judged on their play there because, I mean, Minkah and what he's doing, he's trying to cover a whole secondary. Like, that's legitimately what he's doing. He's trying to do everything back there, and I like a lot of his play. I think he would be, if available, a decent price for them. I don't think it would be something crazy. I would just be wary of him because he is a little older. He has gotten traded from the Steelers for a reason, and the Dolphins took him, and he's been okay, and I think he can be back to that Steeler days type Minkah, and I would love to see him, but he's a higher risk and a higher reward than probably T'Vondre Sweat. He's got a higher reward. T'Vondre's a little bit less of a risk given the pick you'd give up, but curious for your opinion on this. Is there a person of these 3 that you would like the Cowboys to trade for most? Let me know down in the comment section. If you'd like to trade for Maxx Crosby, then type C for Crosby. If you'd like to trade for T'Vondre Sweat, type S for Sweat. If you'd like to trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick, type M for Minkah. C for Crosby, S for Sweat, M for Minkah. Which guy would you like to have on the Cowboys come 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow? It's Maxx Crosby. There's a more choice. It really should be. But if he's not available, I'm going Minkah over Sweat just because the secondary could use more help than the interior part of the defensive lineman. I think an edge rushing unit would be great. An edge rusher in Maxx Crosby is the perfect fit. But if you are able to get a secondary piece that solves more problems to me and ultimately helps you out in a better facet and a more of a larger scale than what it would be with the defensive edge rusher, defensive interior lineman. So I don't know if that's the way it's going to go, but I do think that would be a very good addition for the Cowboys. We appreciate you watching. We hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Again, trade deadline 4 p.m. Eastern Tuesday, tomorrow. Make a move, Jerry.
Dallas.
Make a move.
I am
We need something. And if you don't, I don't know what we're going to do. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Monday. Peace out, guys.